Our research topic is Stigma by Prejudice Transfer. Racism threatens white women and sexism threatens men of color. It was a research paper done by Diana T. Sanchez, Kimberly E. Chaney, Sarah K. Manuel, Leigh S. Wilton, and also Jessica D. Ramados. According to their research paper, they proposed an effect called stigma by prejudice transfer, which is that stigmatized groups such as white women can also be threatened by prejudice that is directed to another stigmatized group, like African Americans, because prejudice can have monolithic qualities. According to their data and their results, they prove that prejudice transfers between racism and sexism, and also it was driven by the presumed social dominance orientation of the prejudiced individual. Aside from that, some downstream consequences, such as expectations of unfair treatment, also appeared for stigmatized individuals.
The original research question and hypothesis included 3 groups: men of color, white women, and white men. It was hypothesized that men of color would rate the sexist profile as more racist than the neutral profile. The group we studied only had 1 white man, so we had to remove part of the original hypothesis and compare participants of color and white participants instead. Our altered hypothesis was that participants of color will rate a sexist profile as more racist than a neutral profile, while white participants show no difference in their rating of racism between sexist and neutral profiles.
5 participants were divided into control group and sexism condition group. 2 Asian female and 1 Caucasian male were in sexism condition group, and 1 Asian female and 1 Asian male were in control group. Investigators then presented the participants with a profile and told them it was filled out by a former participant. The profile indicated that the former participant was a white, 30-year-old male. Participants in the control group received responses only to the demographic and filler personality measures, while participants in the sexism condition group received a profile with moderately sexist responses as well as the personality measures. After studying the profile, participants evaluated the profiled individual on 5 measures.
First, participants indicated the target's sexism and racism using 7 items. Example items are: how likely is it that this person is sexist, racist? Next, participants were instructed to complete the 16-item social dominance orientation scale, as they thought the person in the profile would have completed it. A sample social dominance orientation item is: some groups of people are simply inferior to other groups. Participants also indicated how concerned they would be that the person in the profile would judge them negatively on the basis of their race, being Asian, white, and their ethnicity. Participants next answered 6 questions regarding the challenges and mistreatment they would expect if they were interviewed by this person. For example, would this person treat you fairly? Finally, liking was measured with 3 items. For example, how much would you enjoy interacting with this person? These measures were interspersed with filler questions about the profile and the participant, followed by a demographic questionnaire and debriefing.
As a group, we have collected the response of the questionnaires that were provided by 5 participants. Due to lack of white participants, we mainly focused our analysis in comparing between Asian sexism condition group and Asian control group, and we were unable to conduct a comparison analysis for the latter part of the hypothesis. Instead, we have briefly looked at the results between white participants and Asian participants as a whole. The first set of questionnaires regarding the perceived sexism and racism trait, Asian sexism condition group perceived the man described in the profile to be more racist than the control group. In a scale of 0 being non-racist at all and 25 being most racist, the two groups scored sequentially an average sum of 15.5 and 13. The next set of questionnaires asking about the likelihood of social dominance orientation of the formal profile given to the participants. In average, Asian sexism condition group responded higher likelihood of the formal participant possessing social dominance orientation. For the last three sets of the questionnaires of liking measurement, likelihood of judgment, and mistreatment based on the race, the two groups showed little to no difference. In fact, the Asian control group responses were more concerned of potential discrimination based on their race. Analyzing the responses of the white participant who was part of the sexism control group, we have found out that the participants' responses to the questionnaires were similar towards participants of color. After reading the profile, our participant has responded high perception of racism, high concern of judgment, and mistreatment based on the white participant's race, and surprisingly responded even stronger than any of our Asian participants.